What's up, YouTubers? Ken here from the Dyslexic Investor. We're going to be looking at the 4 basic trends of emotional trading. And I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the biggest veteran in the field, in the business. You're still going to have some kind of emotions tied to the stocks or options or whatever equities or products that you're trading. But the biggest thing is for a lot of the new traders and investors is knowing this trading cycle here. So this trading cycle is very simplistic. There's all kinds of different numerous trading cycles that you can find throughout just a Google search. The one I found the easiest to understand is the one with the faces on it. So having these faces on it helps me break down what could happen, and then what we're going to go into is looking at stocks in its time and place when these emotions could be going on. So that being said, so first off, when you get into a trade, you're totally optimistic. Yeah, everything's going great. Oh wow, it's doing fantastic. You are thrilled that the stock is completely going up, and at the very top, not always the very top, you are the most bullish. You're saying to yourself that nothing could go wrong up at these levels. But then it kind of pulls back because maybe there's some earning issues, or they're not selling, and the overall growth outlook has shrunk, and now they have gone into the fear mode. Your emotions on like, oh wait, now I'm near where my buy-in is, and the stock is saying good things, but why is it going down? Then you hit further down the line of panic, and this is where you are trying to figure out. You're questioning yourself, you're asking why you're trading, you're asking what's going on here, why did I pick this horrible stock, why did I put 100% in my account into this stock, and then you get your capitulation between panic and this one here is usually when you sell. You're like, okay, let me just cut my losses because I'm only down 10 or 15%, let me just cut it here and we'll just call it even at that. And then guess what, it repeats. You get a little bit more hope because it's coming back up. The CEO has a new plan, 5-year plan coming out. A couple analysts come in and give it a buy rating, and then you're back to Optimus Prime, completely back to the beginning. And you go through these swings of cycles. Not saying that you might just hit straight panic when you do a trade and it just continue going lower and you're totally in capitulation mode and just trying to figure out what's going on, or you're just totally in the hope train, or you're just totally in the anxiety, denial, fear train. And the thing is you just have to kind of disconnect from all of that. So I wanted to go through a couple stocks here to highlight these different various emotions to bring it home. So the one for the greed, which if I can remember the most, is oh shoot, where is it? Is it Till? If I can find it. Oh, there it is, TLRY. So this one is a pot stock. Let me go on a longer time frame. Let's just go right about here, okay? This doesn't honestly do it justice. Let's see here. Let me go. Okay, this is how we have to do it on weekly because I don't have the data for that. So this stock, in the matter of like 2 years ago, went in the summer. It was around $25. Again, this is when pot stocks were coming out. You can kind of see here on the thrill of just like the total buy-in, volume's picking up, everything's going higher, everyone's thrilled, super excited. Whoa, I bought it at $25, now it's $100. Oh my gosh, now it's and then 1 month it goes from 117 to 300. Literally, the very tippy top is 300. You are thrilled. This is your second or third trade. You've only been trading just for the summer because you got $500, and you're trading way up here, and then you're like, this is going to the moon. You're telling all your friends. It comes back down. It trades up a little bit higher. You're like, oh, this is definitely holding up, and you're just holding it. It's coming back down. You're like, oh, it's going to hold the 21 EMA. This has got so much potential. Weed stocks are to the moon. You try to trick yourself on trying to understand why you're trading this, and then it keeps on going lower into December. You're back down to below $100. You're like, hey, I'm still up on it. It's going to turn back around once they announce it nationwide in the United States. It's going to the moon. It continues to trade sideways. Now it's going way back down to 50. So now it's basically could be where your buying is. And now you're in the fear of like, maybe what did I do wrong? Why didn't I sell at 300 like a smart person and continue to hold at 50? This is totally making no sense. You're doubting yourself. You're feeling really depressed. You have the anxiety through the roof. You can't sleep at night, and it just continues to go lower. It's hovering around this, and earnings come out. They give negative guidance. You're like, oh no, next quarter is going to be great, and then now you're in capitulation mode. Now you're down on the trade. Continue giving bad news. All the other pot sectors are not doing great, and you're just totally in sell mode, and hopefully you did at this point because it's continue going lower. So this is just one example of thousands a day that you can have this understanding. Another one that I want to take a look at actually, which is on a more shorter time period, which is Apple. So this is we're actually going to have to look at a weekly chart on this one as well. So Apple, we all know and love. I'm going to get rid of these lines. I don't want these lines anymore. Boom. All right. So Apple, everyone knows, is a fantastic company. But at the end of 2018, with the fears of a lot of other things, the market went down as a total. But on the way back up, Apple might have announced lower iPhone sales, hinting that things maybe they're switching more to a product base and their services rather than their iPhone being their flagship device, which is still their flagship device, but they're building a whole ecosystem about it. So this is another thing that I see a lot with emotion trading. If you don't understand the company, you just think that Apple just makes iPhones and, oh, if they sell 80 million every quarter, they'll be fine. That's not always the case. You have to understand the conference calls, understand what Tim Cook and what the management's saying, that, hey, they pre-announced some earning issues that they're going to be going forth. They're trying to get this could be the trade deal stuff, but if you understand the business as a whole, this fear right here of just being, again, having the whole optimism going up, and then potentially having some bad news. Again, they announced a little bit before the quarter that it might be a little light and fluffy, and it continues to sell off. This is where a lot of people were flushed out. You can kind of see here on the blue volume tiers here, but potentially V-shaped bottom here and continue going higher. If you understood more of the fundamentals, you would have seen this and would have stuck in with it, or have even bought at these lower levels. If you didn't understand the if, ands, or buts about it. But if you're just doing emotion trading, if you bought up here, let's say, oh, it broke out here, I bought at 200 or something, and then it sold off into the quarter and it's down 175 now. If it was just technically speaking, this would be somewhat of an issue because a lot of these lines are crossing that I really don't like. But that being said, it's holding out overall. Another big thing that I see in the market is the hope. So the hope of going higher. So hope is not a strategy for anything, which I kind of see a lot with like an Uber. Hate to say it, but it's kind of true. People are hoping for this one to come around. This is the biggest IPO of ever. This is going to change the world. Yes, that all might be so. That's fantastic, but hope is not a strategy for investing. So having the hope all the way down, ignoring the signs, ignoring the common sense. If management's saying like, hey, we're losing money, we're losing $3.50 per Uber Eats ticket, we are losing about 75 to 90 cents on average per ride, this is not a feasible business model. And if you know anything about Wall Street, they care about growing profits and growing revenue. Uber's not really doing any of this. They're just trying to buy market share up with heavy advertising and things like that. They are trying to innovate, but that is a little bit lackluster. They just need more capital. And that's a very hope-driven desire of just trying, oh, I hope it turns back around. I hope they fix the balance sheet and things like that. If you understand the quarters, the risk and the reward, this is not going to be probably your stock to buy unless you're a long-term holder. I say you could buy it. Again, this is only my opinions, but if you're just hoping for a switch in the big cog of this machine, it's not going to happen like that. And then another big thing that I see a lot with emotions that I have is always regret of like, oh, why didn't I buy it there? Oh, I had my order out over here. I should have bought more of it. The one that really comes to my mind of regret of holding too long or letting it go too far is actually G Pro. Like, GoPro has been in the weeds for a long time for me, where each time I think it breaks out at like the $4 level, it comes back and then it sells right back off. Comes back, sells right back off. This is a terrible downtrend. I love their products, but it's just I can't buy it anymore. It's just hurting me, and I'm just being really dumbass trader when I look at this particular stock. Another one, what's a good one? EA I had a lot of hope in, and it was just been trading sideways for such a long period of time. Let's go on a weekly chart to give it a little better perspective. Like, when this with a sell-off cap in here, I didn't believe it. I bought in here, and it was just been trading sideways ever since, not really growing anything. And matter of fact, of all these other various growth companies that I really wanted to follow, wanted to get into. Another one is that I did a lot of emotional trading on was Etsy. So Etsy was a company, or still is a company, that does a lot of handmade products via the web, and they're like really small shops that create these fantastic cutting boards to different various accessories and awesome things throughout your home or life. That being said, I rode this thing all the way up. Like, it's actually my wife told me about this, and I was like, that's a fantastic company. And I was holding it all the way up this yellow line, adding in here and there. Once it sold off, I was like, there's no way this is coming back. I bought in more here, more than I should have, and I bought in more here, and now I'm hoping, again, I'm doing hoping. Even listen to my terminology. I'm hoping for a level off here to kind of get out of this position, because this is a very negative position that I've been holding, and I'm a huge. I messed up. I was very emotional about it. I had an emotional attachment to it. I wanted to go well with it. I regret it. I steeply regret buying this, and should have sold when I was up 75-80%. It's tough. Trading is not. It's not for everything. And again, emotions are always going to come into it. Yeah. So if you guys have anything that you guys have traded in the recent months that has just been anything in the patterns of these different various emotions of trading and want to share it down below, definitely would love to hear it. Again, this journey of trading and investing is, a lot of people are on this path, and I like to hear what other people are doing and so forth. And my point of view of being dyslexic, I kind of use more of the chart patterns, and then with a small combination of fundamental analysis. Again, guys, this is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.